Hello people and welcome to another video of the Completion Showcase series. The video game of today was released only for PC in 2007 and is the beginning of a franchise that has become so big that it even has a Netflix series. I'm talking about the video game that served as the first appearance of Geralt of Rivia in the industry, and whose third part has been critically acclaimed around the world as one of the best games ever created. The first Witcher is an old game, and I'm not saying this because it was released 16 years ago, but because it has outdated graphics and mechanics that are very far for nowadays standards. Despite of that, is one of the best video games I have played, with a complex story, even more complex characters, and a rich world filled with secrets and a huge amount of magic. I'm going to start by saying that a straightforward way to complete The Witcher 1 at 100% doesn't exist. You need to rely on multiple saves and multiple playthroughs to get it done. It is also complicated to prove you have completed the game to that extent, but I'll do my best to explain everything you must do to achieve that. Bear with me for a moment. I completed this game at 100% in 2016, 2 years before completing the first video game with which I decided to start the Completion Showcase series, Xenoblade Chronicles X. So, I'm here in 2023 looking at my old save files, try to figure it out how to show you everything that is needed to complete The Witcher 1 with 100%. With that in mind, let's start with the requirements. Before getting into it, please note that this version is the enhanced edition on Steam. First thing, as always, finish the game to the credits. Complete all the 7 new adventures and have a save of every one of them with every collectible possible. What I do is to save right before starting the final part of each adventure. Complete all the secondary missions, that means all the contracts and trophy quests. There are 10 of those. The dice poker, fist fighting and drinking contests are also needed to complete. Now, here starts the tricky part. The Witcher is a game with many branching missions and different outcomes depending on what you decide to do, say or kill. In order to have absolutely everything in the game, you need to have multiple saves for every possible outcome on those branching moments. Have that in your mind while I say that additionally to having multiple saves for every chosen path, you need to have all possible items and weapons in your inventory or in the storage. It doesn't need to be in the same save file, and this is because that is impossible. At some points in the game, completing a mission will grant you a weapon. Sometimes you have to decide between different weapons as a reward, and you only get to keep one. You know where I'm going with this. Create different save files in those moments to have one copy of each item. I know, this might seem a little far-fetched for a lot of people, but that's the commitment I have when I'm completing a game with 100%. And I apply this same level of commitment to all the video games showcased in this series. Now that you have seen a taste of my level of dedication, I'm going to invite you to subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to see more content like this one and of course gameplay of many other video games. Thank you. Other thing you need to do is reading all the books and scrolls available in the game. The same principle of multiple saves applies in this case when necessary. Have all the entries in all the journal categories: monsters, locations, ingredients, formulas, glossary and characters. Reading the books also gives entries here. And speaking of the journal, you must have all the romance cards. The cards you have obtained can be checked clicking the heart icon located in some of the character journal entries. You get a romance card every time Geralt sleeps with a female character or NPC in the game. Some of them are easy to obtain, but others require to finish some quests first and meet some requirements. In order to have all the possible romance cards, you once again need to use the different save file principle stated before. This is more obvious with characters like Triss and Shani. At one point in the game, you must choose between the two to decide the principal love interest of Geralt. Depending on that decision, you will have two heart icons on that character journal entry image. To give another example of this, at one point in chapter 5, you must create 3 different saves in order to obtain the Terubiel, Rayla and the Nurse romance cards. 2 of the cards are obtained outside the main story, playing the Price of Neutrality new adventure. There are another 2 cards in the Merry Witchmas new adventure, but well, let's say those aren't visually pleasing. Finally, you need to achieve level 50 to get the legendary Witcher title and spend all talent points. Unfortunately, you can't max out all attributes in one playthrough because the game doesn't give you more talent points past level 50. And with that, The Witcher Enhanced Edition is finally 100% completed. Or I believe at least. I don't think anything else can be done with this game, and if you think I'm missing something, please let me know in the comments. I finished this game 7 years ago, so I tried to recall everything, doing some research and looking through my old save files. Let me remind you that a remake for this title is in development, and that is exciting, to say the least. If you like what you see, please subscribe to the channel, give a like and leave a comment if you feel so inclined. It helps a lot. Thank you for staying to the end. See you around.